They say that sometimes, when the moon turns red over the hills of Zuberi, a woman's laughter echoes through the royal courtyard, soft, distant, and full of sorrow. No one knows where it comes from, but the elders whisper that it is the voice of a queen who never lived. The kingdom of Zuberi is a land stretched beyond the African savanna. Its people were known for their strength, their music, and their deep reverence for the spirits of the ancestors. At the heart of it all stood the royal palace, an ancient stone fortress decorated with carved leopard symbols, standing proud under the sun. Inside those walls lived Prince Kato, the only son of King Zuberi and Queen Nandira. Kato was tall, strong, and fierce-eyed, a man whose presence commanded silence. Yet behind that royal confidence lay an unbending pride, one that troubled his father deeply. Every season, maidens from near and distant lands came to seek his hand. Some were the daughters of chiefs, others the children of warriors. They came bearing gifts, woven mats, golden beads, baskets of herbs, but Kato turned them all away. "She walks like she carries the sky on her head," he would say. "This one smiles too much. That one's voice offends the wind." The king's patience waned. One evening, under the great baobab tree, he summoned his son. "My son, every man must build his lineage. The ancestors watch for the day your bride walks through this palace gate." Bowing slightly, "Father, I will not marry until I see perfection, until my heart burns with certainty." Sighs deeply, "Perfection is a dream, Kato. Your mother wasn't perfect when I married her, and no woman is perfect. Even the sun hides its face behind clouds. Then I will wait until the clouds are gone." His words hung in the air like a curse. A week later, the seer McKenna was invited to the palace. She was an old woman with white painted eyes and a necklace of bones that rattled softly when she spoke. She stood before the throne, her staff touching the earth. "My king, the spirits whisper of imbalance. The blood of pride runs in your lineage. If not tamed, it will summon sorrow from the world beyond." King Zuberi's brow furrowed. "What do you mean, McKenna?" "Your son seeks a woman not made of flesh, for he believes none are worthy. If he keeps turning hearts to dust, the dust will rise against him." Queen Nandira scoffed softly. "McKenna, you speak too darkly. My son only wants the best queen, one worthy of the throne of Zuberi." Slowly turns toward her, "Then pray, my queen, that the best does not come wearing a face from the unknown land." The hall fell silent. Even the royal guards glanced nervously at one another. But the queen only smirked. "We fear no ghost, old woman. If the spirits think they can frighten the royal family, then let them try." McKenna struck her staff on the ground once, and the candles flickered. "You will remember these words when the moon bleeds, Prince of Zuberi." Then she left, her laughter echoing softly like the cry of the wind. It was during the season of harvest that Amara came. She was not from a noble house, nor the daughter of a warrior. She was a potter's child from the village of Ashani, a quiet girl whose beauty came not from jewels but from her kindness. Her eyes were deep and gentle, her smile like the calm of a still river. She said to her friends at the stream one day, "I will go to Zuberi Kingdom, to see if the prince will consider me as the next queen of Zuberi." Her friends laughed at her. "That proud and arrogant prince? Don't even waste your time, my friend," one said, laughing at her. "That prince is not yet ready for marriage," another said as the girls left the stream. But Amara's heart was already made up. When she walked into the palace for the royal presentation, even the drums seemed to hush. Queen Nandira whispered, "She is beautiful." But Prince Kato crossed his arms. When Amara knelt, she offered him a clay pot shaped with delicate carvings of the rising sun. "My prince, may your life be as full as the vessel that never breaks." For a moment, their eyes met and something in Kato's chest trembled. But pride quickly rose to drown it. He laughed mockingly. "You think a prince drinks from the hands of a potter's daughter?" The courtiers laughed too, cruel and shallow. Amara's face fell. Tears gathered, but she held her head high. "Even clay can outlast pride, my prince." That stung him. His pride couldn't let her walk away with dignity. "Gods, take her away from my sight. Let her remember her place before she forgets herself." The prince shouted. The guards obeyed, grabbing her arms roughly. The courtyard crowd parted as Amara struggled, crying out, "Kato, enough, she's just a girl." Then let her go back to her father's hut. They dragged her through the palace gates, and into the night she vanished, her sobs fading into the forest path. That night, thunder rolled across the plains. The rain fell heavy and cold. By dawn, her body was found near the moonlit stream of Lufero, where the forest spirits were said to dwell. Her clay pot lay shattered beside her. When news reached the palace, Queen Nandira wept bitterly. "O Kato, you have broken a soul that loved you," the queen said. Prince Kato said coldly, "If she was weak, then she was not fit to stand beside me." The king said nothing. His silence was heavier than any scolding. But from that day, strange things began to happen. At night, Kato's room grew unbearably cold. He dreamed of a woman standing beside the stream, her face hidden beneath a veil of mist. Sometimes he heard faint humming in the corridor songs no one remembered teaching the palace maids. And once, while gazing into his mirror, he swore he saw another face beside his reflection, a pale woman with eyes like water. He blinked, and she was gone. He told no one. Weeks passed. The cold dreams faded. Then, one morning, as the sun rose behind the palace walls, a visitor arrived. She was unlike any maiden they had ever seen. Her beauty was soft, yet stranger skin smooth as morning dew, her eyes glimmering like the moonlight on a still pond. She bowed before the prince, and when she spoke, her voice seemed to come from both near and far. "My name is Amara." The king frowned. Amara, that name. It is not one we hear lightly in this kingdom. But Kato, staring at her radiant face, seemed spellbound. "No, father. This is not the same girl. This one is perfect." The prince said quickly. Queen Nandira smiled with relief. "At last, the gods have brought your match." Only the king looked uneasy. "McKenna's words still trouble me. The best does not always come from among us." The king said, but Kato, blinded by her charm, ignored him. Within 7 days, he declared he would marry her. And as the drums beat and the kingdom rejoiced, the moon above Zuberi turned pale red. The palace of Zuberi had never seen such a celebration. Drums echoed across the plains, horns blasted through the air, and dancers circled under a sky washed in red moonlight. The people sang, "Long live Prince Kato and his bride Amara." But as they sang, an old wind whispered through the sacred forest, stirring the leaves as if unseen spirits were moving among them. Inside the palace, Amara, now the prince's bride, stood before the mirror. Her reflection smiled softly, but behind her eyes, something cold flickered. Queen Nandira entered, radiant and proud. "You are a vision, my daughter," she said, touching Amara's shoulder. "May your beauty bring peace to this kingdom." Amara smiled faintly. "Peace, my queen. Yes, peace will come." Her voice, though soft, carried an edge sharp as glass. That night, when Prince Kato lifted her veil, he felt a chill in the air. But her beauty drowned every doubt. Her skin shimmered like silk, her scent like night blossoms. For the first time, Kato believed he had found the perfection he had always sought. The night passed in laughter and feasting, yet some guests claimed that when the bride walked by, her shadow lagged behind, moving just a breath slower than her feet. The days that followed were golden. Kato paraded his bride through the villages, proud and content. But the nights began to change. The prince started waking to whispers, soft, familiar, echoing through the darkness. "Do you remember me, my prince?" He would sit up, sweating, looking around. Amara would be asleep beside him, her face serene, her lips still. At first, he dismissed it as dreams. But then came the voices during the day, faint murmurs from the corridor, calling his name in tones both sweet and sorrowful. He began to see things too. While walking through the royal garden, he noticed a broken clay pot half buried beneath the flowers. He called the servants, but when they came, the pot was gone. At dinner, he glanced at his bride, and for a heartbeat, her face changed. Her eyes turned dull and glassy, her lips blue like a drowned woman's. Then it was gone again, and she smiled as though nothing had happened. His hands trembled on his cup. Prince Kato whispering, "What manner of thing have I brought into my home?" One cold night, unable to sleep, Kato rose and walked to his mirror. The moonlight poured through the window, silver and cold. He looked at himself and froze. In the reflection stood Amara, not beside him but behind him, her hair wet and tangled, her face pale, her eyes empty. Water dripped from her chin onto the floor. Ghost Amara said softly, "You threw me away once, my prince, but the river gave me back." Kato spun around nothing, only the rustle of the curtains. He gasped for breath, his chest tight. When he turned back to the mirror, the reflection was normal again. He stumbled to the bed and shook his wife awake. Prince Kato said, "Amara, tell me, who are you truly?" Amara smiling sleepily and said, "Your wife, my love. Who else?" He stared into her calm eyes, searching for lies, but found only stillness too still, like a lake before a storm. That night, he could not sleep again. Days turned to weeks. Kato's health declined. He grew pale, restless, and fearful. His laughter vanished. The once proud prince now jumped at shadows and refused to look into mirrors. Queen Nandira, frightened, summoned Seer McKenna back to the palace. She found the queen weeping, and the king sitting in silence. McKenna said, "The spirits have begun their harvest." Queen Nandira, frightened, "Tell me, old one, what must we do to save him?" McKenna replied, "He cannot be saved, my queen. He wedded what his cruelty created. The girl he scorned was claimed by the spirits of the stream. She returned clothed in beauty to finish what pain began." King Zuberi said with his voice low and trembling, "And our kingdom? When the blood of a prince is taken by the dead, the royal line ends. The throne will seek a new house," McKenna replied. The queen broke down in tears, clutching her beads. But the king simply nodded. "So it is written." That night, a storm swept across Zuberi. The sky rumbled like angry drums, lightning flashing over the sacred forest. Prince Kato sat alone in his chamber, staring into the dark. His wife stood by the window, her white gown fluttering. Prince Kato asked softly, "Why do you haunt me, Amara?" Amara turning slowly, "Haunt you? My prince, I am your wife. You chose me. I cannot haunt you." Her face was calm, her smile gentle. But when lightning flashed, for an instant he saw her true form again, soaked, lifeless, her eyes hollow. He staggered backward. "You are not my wife. You are death itself." She moved closer, her bare feet silent on the marble floor. Amara whispered, "You chased me into the storm, Kato. Your words killed me before the rain did. You mocked my heart, crushed my pride. Yet the river gave me back, to claim what was mine." He trembled, backing into the wall. Prince Kato shouted in fear, "Stay away!" But she reached out, touching his cheek with her cold fingers. His body shivered. The walls darkened. The air turned heavy. Her voice softened, almost tender. Amara continued, "Do you feel it now, my prince? The pain of rejection, the cold of being forgotten." Then she leaned close and whispered in his ear words no one ever heard. By morning, when the guards entered his chamber, they found him lifeless on the floor, eyes wide open, frozen in terror. His bride was gone. Only a trail of water led to the balcony, and from there nothing. The news spread like wildfire. The queen refused to eat or speak. The king fell ill soon after, his spirit broken. Within moons, the royal bloodline ended. Another clan took the throne, and the palace of Zuberi became a place of whispers and fear. To this day, villagers say that when the moon turns red, a woman's song can still be heard by the stream of Lufaro, the same gentle tune Amara used to hum as she shaped her clay pots. And if you follow that voice too closely, they say, you might see her reflection on the water smiling, beautiful, waiting. Moral: pride is a crown that burns its wearer. The heart that mocks love may one day beg for peace in the arms of sorrow. In the kingdom of Zuberi, the people remember, When a man rejects the living with arrogance, the dead may come for him in love.